So if you think you're just gonna hey everybody, I'm here, and just show up and think that now all of a sudden, oh, come to my house for dinner, and oh, let's do coffee and let's do that, ain't gonna happen. What is up, everybody? Dan Martell here, serial entrepreneur, investor, and creator of SaaS Academy. And in this video, I've got something on my heart I have to share, which is supporting those that have a seed of desire to make the move, to move to another city. Maybe you're in your hometown where you grew up and you just feel like you're made for something more, but there's just this fear of moving some other place. Okay, maybe it's that you know the thing that you want to do, the empire you want to build is going to be way easier to build in a different city or location. That is the person I'm talking to. I want to encourage you to make bold moves. I believe the world rewards courageous decisions, and I'm going to make an argument on why you should take the risk, make the leap, and make the decision to make the move physically with yourself and go to that other city, okay? I've done this 3 times in my life. When I was 21, I decided to move out west, and everything went south as soon as I got in my car and I started driving. It was literally a 4-day road trip, and halfway through 9/11 happened, and every opportunity on the other side ended up going away. That being said, I just recently talked to my dad and my brothers about this. If you look at the trajectory of my life, had I not gone out west, there's a small chance, very small probability that I would be an entrepreneur today. It's crazy. I knew I grew up with entrepreneurial traits and I started companies, but there were failures and failures and failures. It was just a sequence of opportunities that if it didn't happen in that way, I don't think I would have started Spheric Technologies. That was finally the company that had success, that gave me the confidence to decide to think bigger. And then when I was 28, I decided to move to San Francisco from Canada. And again, I didn't know anybody. I didn't have one friend, no college, no associates, nothing. I just decided if I didn't move, I wouldn't know. Could I play the game amongst the brightest in the world? Could I swim amongst the fastest? I just wanted to see what this crazy place was about because I kept reading about it. I visited a couple times, but I wanted to be in it. And that decision to move there, okay, it was transformational. It allowed me to think bigger. I ended up starting 2 venture-backed companies within a 7-year period and exiting both of those. That is crazy because I had given myself the goal to do one of those in a decade. And I share that to inspire you because I think that we make up things in our minds about how bad they're going to be when honestly, the upside of putting yourself outside your comfort zone and pushing yourself to become somebody who can deal with a higher level of challenges is what life is all about. And then more recently, moving to Kelowna, British Columbia, okay? I had my life set up. I had all the fun toys, I had the life, I had the support infrastructure, I had an incredible group of friends. I had my friends I was training for Ironman with, I had my business friends. It was literally an incredible, easy, but fun building an empire on the East Coast of Canada. And I just decided that there was more, that I wanted to be around people that were, it's not that I didn't have friends that thought big back east, it's just the quantity that I found in Kelowna blew my mind. The quality of life, everything I love to do, from snowboarding to wake surfing to mountain biking to triathlons, literally 10 out of 10 level exists in the city. But it was a big decision. It required me to restructure all my corporations. It required me to figure out how we transition our kids, etc. Like, it wasn't easy. And so many people reached out to me after I announced that decision and just thanked me for sharing that story. Because a lot of folks, and maybe you can resonate with this, have had it on their heart, right? And COVID was a really great forcing function to get people to move outside of their comfort zone. But there's still folks that are thinking of doing this, that want to do this. And I want to share a few things, because what's really important to understand is that not only will you grow just by making the decision to move and going through all those challenges, but if you do it right, and that's what this is about, if you do this right, It could transform your life in so many incredible ways just by the people side of things, the community side of things. Just recently, I had my top coaching clients in town. I wanted to host them in my home city, introduce them to my friends, go to the wineries, go to the brewery districts, go to the site tours, do the activities, mountain biking, literally show them what my life was. And several of them came up to me and said, I need this in my hometown. How did you do this? And I shared them the framework, and they was like, oh, wow, I never thought of it that way. And I thought, I have to share this with all of you. I've got to not only encourage you to take the big leap, I need to tell you, once you make the leap and you're there, this is what you need to do. So a few beliefs, a few mindset beliefs that are gonna help you get over it. Number one is the people that you wanna connect with, they're gonna be hard to find. They're busy, they've got companies to run, they've already got lives, they've got a network, they've got friendships. And for you to come in as a nobody to try to insert yourself is gonna be tough, and I want you to know that. I remember when I moved to San Francisco, I literally cold emailed 100 people, okay? And I offered value and I followed up, and it was through those little bitty cold emails that I eventually got some responses. And it was doing the work, and those people ended up becoming my fans, or fans is a weird word. They essentially became my allies to introduce me to other people. They leveraged their personal credibility to introduce me to folks that really have transformed my lives. Investors that invested in my company, friends that became, referrals for team members that I've hired, literally the people that I've built my life with. And this is what's going to be required. When I moved to San Francisco, I did the same thing. I literally had my assistant pull the list of all the private planes that land in the airport. We bought the list so I could build the list of all the names of the people that have private jets in the city, and then I cross-referenced that with all the people on that list that also sit on nonprofit boards, okay? So I had a values filter and I had a wealth filter, okay? Because you'd be surprised, nobody's got this. I remember asking all these private wealth management people, like, who's got the list? Who's got the list? And then you'd Google, like, wealthiest people that live in the city, and it was a fraction of the names that I knew of the people that existed. It was gonna be hard. It took months to reach out, but it requires that. So if you think you're just gonna hey everybody, I'm here, and just show up and think that now all of a sudden, oh, come to my house for dinner, and oh, let's do coffee and let's do that, ain't gonna happen. They're gonna be hard to find. The second thing that I think that's important to understand is you're only gonna get out what you put in, okay? And I think a lot of folks in their hometowns, where they're at now, they're kind of a passive bystander, especially if you've been doing this for a while. You get invites, you go to them. Like, you're literally a passive bystander to the network that you've built. You stopped investing in it. It's not a priority for you. You don't even reply to some of the emails. You'd rather stay at the office than go out to a networking event. There's an entrepreneurial mountain biking group. There's an entrepreneurial workout class, CrossFit. There's so many things, because I remember organizing these in my hometown, and I'd say 80% of the people didn't reply or punted. Let me check, I'll get back to you. Don't get back to you. And what I've realized that if you want to make the big move, and I would encourage you to physically do that, go to, if you're the smartest person on the street, find a better street, okay? Trust me, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I post my views. This is a pretty freaking awesome street, okay? My neighbors are incredible human beings that I'm grateful to be able to interact with on a daily basis, just through proximity of being where I live now. And I want that for all of you, but here's the reality. If I get the invite to go over for a drink, I have to say yes. If I don't do the work to reach out to these people, they're not gonna be part of my life. If I don't ask myself, how do I create more value for them than anybody else, then I'm not gonna get the opportunity. And what's crazy is that even sometimes it might be a person that you don't think is that, whatever you want to call it, you judge them, they're not that fancy, they're not that successful, but that person has very deep, long-term relationships with folks that you might want to connect with. And I'm just a big fan of treating everybody like everybody's got something to give. Be curious. Like, that idea of asking questions, being curious about other people's lives, genuinely digging to find the thing that they're passionate about. The area that they just can't stop talking about. I don't know if it's their kids, their sports, their hobbies, their business. But once you find that vein and you double click on it and you get the opportunity to listen to them around all their stories and what they've tried, and I love it. I took my clients on a winery tour. I don't drink, okay? I haven't drank in a decade, but I am so fascinated about winery. One of my clients goes, Dan, it's so crazy. You're a member here. This is a private winery and you pay to be a member, but you don't even drink wine. And I go, but look at this place. Isn't it cool? Isn't it awesome? Like hearing the story of, Anthony Van Mendel, like he's the founder of this company, one of the richest people in Canada, and he built this incredible place called Martin's Lane, and we get to go and tour it. We get to experience the art and understand the vision and mission and the craft behind how they do this. But I'm going to tell you, if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't put in the energy, if you don't create a dinner, a hike, and invite people to it, you're not going to create an incredible community. And the third thing I want to share with you is the power of the integrated life. This mindset, okay, that the two things are separate. The work life is separate from the life. It is crazy. Put it together. Like I literally sit on the board of close to $1 billion company, and every Tuesday I mountain bike with the CEO and the president, okay? I coach several companies, several founders in this city, and every Friday we go wake surfing with the same people. There's no separation. I organize events at my house and I invite the community into it. I go and I speak at a high school and I bring my kids to come see it. We get involved in the local community, our church, the nonprofits in the community, and I bring my entrepreneurial friends to support the organization. I don't know where there was this belief that, hey, work life and business life, but I'm telling you, if you get to a place where you're living in a community of like-minded individuals that want to do life to the fullest, as my Brad says, live life to the fullest and want to integrate that life, you will have a quality of life that you can't even imagine, because it's going to be so effortless. There's not going to be it's not going to feel hard. It's like, hey, we're going wake surfing, and then at 9 o'clock we all go to the office and get some work done. And we do founders lunches, and we do a hike on Tuesdays, and like there's all these different things that you can do. But here's what I realize is, and I want to leave you with this quote, is you are only willing to suffer the cost of your dreams, okay, when you understand the value of your dreams. Okay, you won't be willing to suffer the cost of creating, of building, of going after your dreams that you've set for yourself, okay, if you don't connect the value of that dream. And one of my favorite things that people say is, not favorite things, I just don't agree with it, which is, money doesn't buy you happiness. And I always say, well, you haven't given enough away. It's that truth. It's not about money. You haven't given enough away. Money is a tool. Money is like a fork. It's a tool. You can use it to eat and you can use it to hurt somebody, but it's a tool. And if you think it's not about the money, then I don't know what world you live in, but there's just so much opportunity, right? So I want you to get around people that are going to shift your mindset, shift your perspective. Instead of just consuming the content from a podcast, from a YouTube, from wherever, I want you to get with those people physically. Proximity is power. Get around them. Make the big move. Bet on yourself. Trust yourself. Do the work. And I'm telling you, your life will look dramatically different. So with that, as per usual, I want to challenge you to live a bigger life and a bigger business, and I'll see you next week.